You're listening to a CeltCast exclusive interview. Find this and more at www.celtcast.com.
We're currently at Keltfest, which is sometimes called Castlefest's little brother. We're having a chat with Mark van der Stelt, one of the founding fathers of the Dutch festival scene that makes the world behind the music you hear on CeltCast come to life, if only for a few days. So Mark, thanks for finding the time.
You're welcome.
Now, your involvement in the scene goes way back. Last year, Castlefest had its 10th anniversary. What were your first thoughts behind Castlefest creating the festival?
We were first just visitors of festivals. We went to some festivals in Luxembourg, of course, Elf Fantasy in Holland, and also some festivals in Germany. And what we saw in Holland was that we missed some details. We missed some real important atmospheric pieces. And we thought perhaps it's a good idea to organize a little market, and so it went on, and that became Castlefest.
You started out with a little market. Where do you find those people?
Because we were visitors, we already had contact with the market salesman, and we knew a couple of bands like Omnia and Rapalje, and they helped us a lot in starting the event, getting us into contact with important other salesmen or other entertainers. So we did it all together with a lot of people.
A lot of volunteers as well.
Yeah.
Were they there from the start? Because you have like an army of hundreds of volunteers.
Our first edition we had 100 volunteers.
How did you manage to round them up?
Yeah, it's quite simple. We just put the question on our internet site, and they registered, and we went to a lot of festivals with a promotion booth, and there we got also in contact with a lot of possible volunteers there.
It's a wonderful world, and people that are willing to do stuff for free just to, say, feed the flames of this scene.
Yeah.
But Castlefest, of course, is more than just music and merchants. Where did you find the source of inspiration for the way Castlefest presents itself? Like, where you have the wonder of it all, Troya, as a symbol, but the whole entourage of Castlefest, it's like you're stepping into another world.
Yeah, that's something that's not created. That's grown. When you come in contact with people and you talk to them about the plans, and they got inspired by that, and they added their own creativity to the festival. The Troya, the wonder of it all, is something our good friend Martin Jansen made, and we talked a lot about Castlefest with him, and brainstormed about the feeling, about everything creative. So that grows. That's not something you can say, oh, okay, we are going to put a festival, and that it has to be that kind of atmosphere, and we put some things over here and some other creatures over there, and then you have something. No, doesn't work like that. We still don't know why Castlefest became what Castlefest is now. We don't know.
I think that's actually the best answer you could give.
Yeah.
You didn't start because we're at Keltfest, of course, now.
Yeah.
That's a festival. You didn't start out, but you took over.
Yeah, when we took it over, it was Scotland Festival, but it's not that festival what became Keltfest. We recreated the festival.
How did you make it yours? Because then it was more like a deliberate way of redesigning the festival.
Yeah. When we started with Scotland Festival, it was more a bagpipe contest festival than it was a music festival, and our heart is more in the music than in the bagpipe contest. So that was the main switch we had in the second year. By not inviting, of not doing the cooperation with the bagpipe contest, and instead of that, put a bigger stage with more music. And then we also changed the name into Keltfest.
Yes, because it was originally, of course, called
Scotland Festival. Yeah. And before that, Celtic Festival.
Even before that.
Yeah.
See, I didn't know that.
It exists for 14 years now.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
And when you first started out doing this, what were the thoughts of your family and your loved ones? Because it's kind of a risky undertaking. It's a weird undertaking. It's not something what would be considered normal. Only yesterday I was picking up one of my daughters at her, shall we say, mother-in-law. And when she opened the door, her mother-in-law, she had to take something like a minute because I was dressed the way I am now. It was like a huge leap for her to understand what I was saying about, I've been to a festival and it's like a different world. It's like a modern Woodstock. It's like neo-hippies, and well, police are there to support, but they actually haven't got a thing to do because it's all just weirdos, goofballs, and mainly lovely people enjoying the music and the company of each other. But what were the thoughts of people surrounding you when you said, I'm going to do something else, I'm going to do this?
That was not a big change. It was just a bit more work, more to do. When we started Castlefest, it was we did it in the nighttime. We had a full-time job, so it was a hobby. And the first 2 years it remained a hobby. After that it was too much to keep doing that next to our jobs, and my brother stopped his work and started working for the festivals almost full time, and we got our first employee, Frank, to do the organization of our festival. And that was almost at the same time as when we were talking, we started talking with the old organizer of the Scotland Festival. And that was, for us, it was a chance to have the possibility of paying someone for his work, because before that it was just a hobby. We didn't get any money out of the festival. first year it even cost big money.
I know, it was kind of tricky.
Yeah,
weren't
but
sure if
but
you
we
would go
only
on.
found out that it was tricky after the festival. we didn't realize that, totally not. We believed so much in what we were doing that we didn't even consider that it could go wrong. Not ever, not a moment. Yeah.
Just blindly stepped into it.
Yeah.
You followed your heart. So to
Yeah.
speak,
Yeah.
There's a lot of kids in this scene who also like to follow their heart, but then you have like parents who allow them to go over here, but who wouldn't applaud a career in music or a festival.
Yeah.
You have made a family business out of it.
No.
There's Rob, of course.
I don't think my parents, when they thought of a future for their kids, ever would have thought of this. No, it's you keep a steady job and earn your money so you can pay your bills. That's the kind of way you try to bring your kids to their adulthood.
That's the mantra of parents.
Yeah.
How would you? What would you say? What would your advice be to young bands who are starting out in music now?
Yeah, follow your heart.
Yeah.
And do what you like. That's the main thing. Everybody should do, not only bands, but we see a lot of salesmen and women or artists who also need to follow their heart and their own creativity, because everybody has one kind of creativity. For the one, it's sculpturing. For the other, it's making music. For another, it could be accounting. But everybody has his own creativity.
Yeah.
So far for part 1 of the interview. Stay tuned for parts 2 and 3.